trying to get drunk.
We don't care what R. Kelly did.
Did I say anything racist this time? You better get out of here, honky.
And now for something completely different.
I got moves, man.
Well, two honks and Kim just messing around. You'll never know what they talk about on two honks. Two honks and Kevin. You might hear something about the NBA. Maybe they'll just make your day on two honks and Kevin. It's sports and life and family too. Let's all listen to two honks and a Kevin. Yeehaw! Just crap my pants.
All right. Today's date is January 26th. I am here with both of my Tough Mudder teammates. Got Blake, and I don't even want to say what I want to say, but I got Kevin. Kevin is you're gonna see Kevin a lot more blacker than normal because he's in the car.
I got a tan, folks.
He's waiting for his daughter to get done with volleyball, so he's rock and rolling with us that way. So
Yes,
do what you got to do as a parent. It's all good, man.
Yep. Kevin is in a very dark car. So for those of you that don't actually, watch us, it's a little harder to see Kevin tonight.
Yeah. I had to adjust my volume a little bit there. Yeah, man.
Real quick before I forget, it's my mama's birthday today. So happy birthday, Mama Rita. Love you.
All right.
Had to get out.
Hold back on the F-bombs today for her birthday.
Ooh, that'd be her favorite present.
That's right. Try to keep it man, so there's a lot going on in the world today. I don't know how much you guys keep up with. I don't really necessarily go out on my way to look up things, but it's right in your face, and it kind of almost like we're on the verge of World War III, huh?
Yep, I kind of heard that.
With this Russia stuff, every country's like on its toes, like ready.
Everybody has their butts clenched right now, right?
Yeah, yep.
All right, fill me in. What's going on?
So apparently, Russia is on the verge of maybe invading Ukraine and trying to take it over. So they have a bunch of troops over there, basically at the border. The capital of Ukraine is only like 200 miles from the Russia border, or maybe not from the Russia border, but from where their troops are. So this has been going on for a few weeks now. And so, I mean, it's weird because Joe Biden went from not really wanting to do anything and now talking about deploying like tens of thousands of troops over there. Like
to help Ukraine?
It's going to be more than help.
Yeah.
It's going to be
It's going to be, they're talking like countries are going to get together and try to stomp this shit.
Try to stomp Russia?
I don't know exactly, but yeah, I mean, it sounds like it, dude. Like, I don't want to say, I mean, it may totally change, but yeah, he went from saying he doesn't want to get involved and blah, blah, blah to like, I think last I heard 8,500 troops are on high alert to possibly be deployed over there with the possibility of tens of thousands of more.
What do you think pushed the pendulum on us? Because I had heard like France had something to do with it and it was talking to them, and then now he's all about that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's really a NATO thing. I think Ukraine wants to be part of NATO, and Russia doesn't want that. And it really all has a lot to do with embargoes and financial restraints put on Russia. And a lot of it's because they're kind of a hostile government.
Yeah.
So in an attempt to restrain that, that's basically what NATO does. And so Ukraine wants to become part of NATO, and Russia doesn't want them to do that. So there's two things that they were rumored to be doing. One is basically just going in, overthrowing the government, and putting in their own people, or 2, just going in and just doing a full-scale invasion. They don't know for sure which one they're going to do.
This is Russia, right? We're not sure what Russia's going to do.
This is what Russia, we're not sure what Russia's going to do, but there's like satellite imagery of just a ton of military Russians on their border. Like, it's unbelievable how much they have over there. And they basically threatened Japan. They threatened Japan that, don't get involved. And I think UK has sent troops over to help Ukraine. There's a rumor that Germany is actually allying with Russia with this whole thing. So,
what's the motive? Just power?
Right here.
Just power, for the most
part. Money.
Yeah, when you have that embargo on them in terms of them not being able to do things financially, it kind of puts a pretty big hit on their economy. So, and I don't know why Germany wants to side with Russia if that is what they're doing. But it doesn't. Every day I wake up and I look at the news immediately.
Yeah, you're just waiting for the bombings.
Yeah, because this they've talked about this probably like this time last week. It started heating up more, right?
Yeah, it started heating up. I think there was a month or 2 of talks, and it just never got anywhere between us and Russia. And
so we're trying to talk to Russia and say, let's not go to war, let's not do this.
Yeah, don't do this. Yeah, it's basically just don't do this. And Russia's like, no, because they're going to become part of NATO, which then basically makes them an ally to us and other countries that they're not friendly with.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So yeah,
they're right there,
dude. They're threatening Sweden. So Sweden's getting involved. It's getting pretty intense over there. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but from what I understand right now, we're basically in a wait and see hold position to see what they're doing. Yeah.
Do we need to be involved? I know that probably sounds bad.
You got to help your allies.
You got to help your allies. You got to, especially if UK gets involved and Sweden gets involved, like, there has to be some sort of responsibility, especially since the United States is basically the ones running NATO for the most part. It seems like they're the ones calling majority of the shots 9 times out of 10. So yeah, and I believe didn't the United States start NATO? That was was that a World War II thing? Woodrow Wilson started. He started the that whole thing where that's also where the rules of war came to play and all that. So,
but it also sounds like we've actively done a lot of talking to get ourselves out of this stuff too, right?
Yeah, and I don't think we want it to happen. And look, let's be honest. It's not like the United States is clean in terms of overthrowing governments and doing shitty stuff.
Right.
So I'm not sitting here pretending like we're the good guy in any of this, whatever it may be. But you certainly can't let Russia overthrow the Ukrainian government and its people.
Yeah, your people, basically.
So, like I said, it's just every day I'm getting online and just like, is this the day?
How big is Russia's military? Do they have power now? Or
oh yeah, they are tit for tat with us. Like it's no joke. It's no joke.
Really?
If it goes down, it's not going to be like the Gulf War. It's
got a bunch of Khabibs over there just ready to scrap.
Just fucking roasting bears. Sorry, Mama Blake. That's what they're doing. Roasting bears.
You didn't even make it 10 minutes.
So I'm kind of backpedaling on what Blake said. And Blake kind of asked, "Do we have to intervene?" Right, Blake? Are you asking that because of like why? Like, because I feel like I'm leaning towards what you're asking, but I'm asking because hey, like this is like the worst time for America to because we're so divided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Honestly, I don't I don't understand wars. I don't understand why we're feuding with other countries, or honestly, sometimes I wonder why we're even helping. Like, let them just run their country. We run our country. We gotta, enough problems. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
I'm
but
sure there's
it's almost like networking the families, right? Like you're close with Justin's family, so you're gonna be there, right? Like you guys have an alliance, right? So
right.
that's how I feel like it is more than anything.
We have to protect our assets too. You have to think
Yeah.
too, like a lot of our things are strategically placed in case there's a war. Some of it is placed just mainly for logistics, supply chain. Some of,
Right.
especially when we talk about oil or how we place our naval people around places just to prevent piracy, like legit pirates. So it's funny to me because a lot of people seem to think that we're out just policing the world. We are, but it's our best interest to do these things, right?
Because we benefit somehow because of it.
We benefit mostly by protecting ourselves.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like people will say, well, why are we over in the Middle East? And it's like, well, dude, there's a ton of oil over there. Like, how a huge amount of our oil we buy is over there. So what, we have to control at least try to control what goes on over there. So we have to, it's in our best interest to protect South Korea. A lot of our technology stuff, I mean, your Apple and Samsung phones, a lot of that stuff is made in South Korea, so there is vested interest in making sure we protect these other countries that provide things for us, So there actually is an update to this. I think about an hour ago, they said that let's see here. I'm just trying to read through it here real quick to see if I can pick out a highlight. They basically, the U.S. response to Russia tried to set a serious diplomatic path forward should Russia choose it. The response was delivered in person to the Russian military foreign affairs by U.S. ambassador, is intended to address concerns Moscow has publicly released and to outline areas where the U.S. has said it sees potential for progress. Arms control, transparency, and stability. Trying to see exactly what it is that they're talking about here. U.S. has repeatedly said Russian President Vladimir Putin's central demand that the U.S. and NATO commit to never admitting Ukraine to the alliance is simply a non-starter. While Blinken declined to, who is Blinken? He declined to detail specific presented to Moscow. He said the U.S. response reiterated that the West's public response to uphold NATO's open door policy, rejecting Moscow's demands that NATO commit to never admitting Ukraine. So I think this is really kind of what we already discussed, right? It's the whole NATO thing, and whereas the U.S. is basically the whole purpose of NATO is to, if a country wants to join NATO and join basically the alliance, it's an open door policy. Well, Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join.
So Ukraine is trying to join NATO, but Russia's not wanting that, so they're going to take matters in their own hands.
Right. I'm trying to figure out why Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join them.
I'm trying to figure out why are there rules of war?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out why
from World War II. So you can't do certain things, right? You're not supposed to do certain things, and doing those things
are war crimes.
Is a crime, right? And you can be held, so using certain chemicals, right? Like using certain chemicals are a crime. You cannot, like biological weapons are supposedly a war. You're not supposed to be dumping the Black Plague on people. Like you shouldn't be doing that, because that's I think there's
or COVID.
Yeah, right.
Just start sneezing on everybody.
Too late for that. I think the nuclear war. I think also wearing uniforms is part of the rules of war.
Identifying yourself, yeah.
Tracers is a part of war. So it's like Nightfire like countries are supposed to use different colors for tracers, so you know where the enemies are and where your guys are, kind of thing.
Dude, that's wild, man.
It's
Um,
like a UFC fight. Like it's backyard fighting, and then there's
Yeah.
UFC fight. Like
Yeah.
I'm for real.
It's like
Like
no
there's
kicking.
no rules of fighting to me. Like
Yeah.
I don't. That's why I don't
Yeah.
understand.
okay, so
No.
here's a good outline I found while we were talking. If you guys are interested, we'll do this real
Yeah,
quick.
keep going.
Why is there a conflict? Ukraine, which was part of the Russian Empire for centuries before becoming a Soviet republic, won independence as the USSR broke up in 1991. It moved to shed its Russian imperial legacy and forge increasingly close ties to the West. A decision by Kremlin-leaning Ukrainian President Viktor, and I can't even pronounce that name, to reject an associate agreement with the European Union in favor of closer ties to Moscow led to mass protests that saw him removed in 2014. Russia then responded by annexing Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula and throwing its weight behind a separatist rebellion that broke in Ukraine's east. So Russia basically tried to cause a rebellion, basically is what it sounds like. Ukraine and the West accused Russia of sending troops and weapons to back the rebels. Moscow denied, saying that the Russians who joined the separatists were volunteers. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was like in 2014 where there was like the whole rebellion in Ukraine, and there was basically what it said there was some thought that Russia was intentionally backing them. What does Russia want? It is more about what Russia doesn't want. He does not want Ukraine in NATO, and has said as much in its list of security demands, which were sent to the U.S. last December. The demands included a halt to any NATO drills near Russia's border. Moscow is still waiting for a response, but many of its ultimatums have been slammed as non-starters by the West. It also wants NATO to withdraw from Eastern Europe. At that time, Putin said Russia would seek guarantees that would exclude any further NATO moves eastward and the deployment of weapon systems that threaten us in the close vicinity to Russian territory. Putin offered the West an opportunity to engage in substantive talks on the issue, adding that Moscow would need not just verbal assurances, but legal guarantees. Ukraine's admission to the alliance would require the unanimous approval of the 30 states that make up the body. Ukraine is not a member of NATO, but it wants to be. It is considered a partner of the alliance. So yeah, I mean, I think it's as simple as that. They just don't want a Western ally next to its border.
I don't want you hanging out with those boys over down the street, Blake.
You know, exactly. That's my exact thought I had a few minutes ago or whatever. It was just like, it just blows my mind that like we literally will fight somebody because they live on a different street than us. You know, like, dude, you're on 10th Street and I'm on 11th Street. Get off my street. We're gonna fight about it. Like, I don't know where this stems from. I mean, Kevin and I were kind of talking about during the UFC fight Saturday, where it's just like there's a big heavyweight fight, and everybody thought there was going to be a knockout. It ended up kind of being, like these two big old men on the ground wrestling. But there was something I thought, I don't know if beautiful is the word in it, but it's like, man, that's the definition of barbaric, of like, I can't knock you out. So now I just have to try to bully you and take you down and do whatever I can to you. It's like, I feel like that's what I mean, it's been going on forever. I just go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, there's a difference of philosophy between Russia and a lot of the NATO people. A lot of NATO countries are, I don't know, all of them are, but some of them are more capitalist societies built on capitalism. A lot of them have more socialist ideals in terms of like healthcare and things like that. But I think Russia is purely a socialist country. So I just think there's just a lot of difference of opinion. Now, see, China does the same thing with North Korea. That's why North Korea exists, and that's why the United States will not invade North Korea. It's because China's right there, and China has basically told us, if you mess with them, then you're gonna have us on your back. China doesn't want us on their border.
That's been my biggest fear is that we've been the big bad United States of America,
Yeah.
and it just feels like everyone else has gotten better and we are still fighting over if we should get a vaccine or not.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. And both of those countries have, Russia and China are allies, and they have these things in common. Where it's like in China, you're getting a vaccine or you're getting drugged out to the alley and shot.
Yeah.
You know,
God, dude.
and I'm pretty
It's
sure
just
Russia's
crazy.
probably the same way. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think anybody wants like a full out war. I think that would be freaking insane.
Yeah.
I
But just,
mean, that wouldn't be good
just
for anybody, right?
right. And just imagine being a Russian. I mean, no different than, Richard, you going through military and you were trained. Like, this is your moment. This is game time. Like, this is what you've been working for, in case you go to war. And now you're a young, whatever, 18 to 25-year-old dude, or maybe you're even 30 or 40 years old.
Mhm.
And now you believe in your government and your country so much that you're about to go risk your life to destroy some other body's, some other family or some other, it's the biggest evil in the world. I understand that maybe there's got to be power used in specific situations to help things,
Yeah.
but this just sounds like you're picking the wrong color. So we got to take care of you.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
rough.
yeah, it's unfortunate, because the Ukraine wants to join NATO, but Russia sees that as a military threat, so they don't want it happening.
So what do you mean by joining? Like,
To
I'm
be an
so
ally,
dumb.
so basically, you would officially be an ally. You would have a say in certain matters. You would officially be,
They basically join
if something
governments.
happened to us, if something happened to them, then we would be on the hook to help them, like
Okay.
all 30 countries.
And then
would
and then
jump in.
obviously Russia doesn't want that because of the fear of them becoming more powerful,
Yeah, or that,
more
More
or
dominant.
powerful, and it sounds
having
like
Western. Go ahead, Kevin.
it's more powerful, and it sounds like you're closer, right? So
Yeah,
United States. That's the other thing too. You'll have access to these other countries and be able to make military bases and use their resources. So that's just
exactly.
one step closer that United States is in and can look at and watch Russia.
Right.
Man. Yeah, I guess I really didn't know all that was going on. I mean, I kind of hear bits and pieces about everything, it seems like, but
Yeah.
I feel like I'm so removed from it. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's another country. Like I don't even know. It's like it's so easy just to get, I guess, stuck in what you're doing on a daily basis, where it's like you don't even know what's really going on.
But I feel like
Yeah.
we haven't had a real war with social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this would actually affect your day to day. Not only the resources, but actually hearing it and hearing people's opinions and like, because I guarantee there's people that's like, hey, well, Biden started this, so I'm not going to go and help. You know what I'm saying?
Is Biden at fault for? I mean, I hate blaming presidents for
No.
anything, but
No.
is there?
No.
Is there
this
more
is a
that he
simple
could
fact
do?
that Ukraine wants to join NATO. Russia doesn't want it to happen, but NATO has an open door policy, so it's like,
Your back's to the wall. You have to.
and also Ukraine wants to join NATO because they want to be protected from Russia. So it's not, it's not just us come with us. It's Ukraine going, we're scared of Russia and what they've done in the past. We want to join you so you can
Right.
help us.
Help protect us. And then
Yeah.
Russia takes that personally.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It's
that
a complicated situation, right? I mean, because it's like on one end, it's like Ukraine's kind of the small guy. You think, And the other thing to keep in mind is just because you're the small guy doesn't mean you're the good guy, right?
Right.
yeah.
But at the same, it's just you look at Ukraine and it's like, well, we got to protect them, right? But then Russia's like, nah, man, this is my front door. I'm not gonna let you sit on my front door and spy on my shit and build a base
Yeah.
like 100 miles away from me. That's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get that too. Russia's trying to protect their land, and their
Yeah.
government and all that. But I don't know, man. I mean, maybe there's maybe there's no way around it. I mean, I don't know if we've learned anything from war, in the past, I mean, besides just a bunch of, lives lost. Um,
It's unfortunate. It's just it's I agree with you, Blake. It seems so senseless. It's like it doesn't none of it.
Right.
Like, why do we have to have this? Like, what is
yeah. Why can't
it?
we all?
Just
It sounds so cheesy, but why can't we all just be one? Like, why couldn't we all just look at each other as in you're here on this earth while I'm here on this earth, and we're all just doing earth stuff,
right?
for however long we're here.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems
It
so
ain't for
simple.
long either. And it ain't for long, and
It's not for
we all
long,
end up
man.
underground, and it's really especially nowadays, man. We're all connected. Like
Yeah.
we're all we're all almost of the same culture wise. Like we can mix and match worldwide now. Like right, like if
Yeah.
Mhm.
you live in China or whatever, and you have access to the internet, you can look at Western stuff and be like, "Hey, I like
Yeah.
I like the NBA." You know,
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean? You can be in China and be like, "I like wrestling." Like, you
Mhm.
can,
Yeah.
vice versa. I can look at something from China or Japan and be like, "I like this anime shit," or "I like this whatever." You know,
Yeah.
I like the Chinese culture type thing. Like you, we're so it's so open now. It just bungles. It just and one of the things that always stuck with me was when we're having conflicts with Iran, and there are Iranian people saying it's not the Iranian people, dude, it's the Iranian government.
Mhm.
Like it's not
Mm.
even like the normal everyday person doesn't care. They just want to live their life, and it's the governments are just insane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that's kind of the fear of what's going to happen here too, right? I mean, just so much of the control and whatnot.
I don't know, like dude, like the whole control thing. I've heard so much. I've heard people say that by 2030 it'll be basically a Republican dictatorship, and I've heard people say it's going to be the Democrat dictators. It's so insane.
Yeah.
It reminds me of 9/11 when people were running around talking about how the Islams were going to take over.
Mhm.
It's like
Right.
it's all insane. Like nobody
Yeah.
is gonna take over, dude. Just live your life. Like people for the majority just want to go to work or just want to watch a movie. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
they don't care.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so
Right.
true. You
Right.
just, I mean, we're all really just doing our own little life, and then it's just like there's just a bunch of talking heads out there. And
Yeah.
that's kind of how I feel. It's like I feel like there's a world of problems, but it's just like, okay, I'm just focusing on mine, and
Right.
I
Right.
hope
I'm just in
everyone
my
else
own little box.
yeah, I hope everyone else turns out okay and there's no war and we all can just figure out how to love each other and maybe somehow we grow from this. Maybe sometimes you got to fight to come back together to realize, hey, we're all the same, man. We're all,
For
it's just a
sure.
different race, different language, different culture. That's the biggest thing. It's a different culture. It's like don't hate someone because they have a different culture.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Like
it's just silly.
literally,
You know how
if
stupid that is?
if someone lives in Russia and they don't like socialism, guess what they can do? They can hop on a plane and come on over.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like nobody is stopping anybody from what I understand for the most part. I mean, there are countries that you will get freaking killed if you try to leave.
Yeah.
But, in this instance, it's you
But
can come over.
Russia's free with that. They let you kind of, come and go or whatever.
I'm pretty certain. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we see, you go up to Wisconsin and, you know have you ever been up to Wisconsin and, go to one of those, go to, like, the Dells?
No, can't say I
I'm-
have. Is there a lot of Russians?
It's full of immigrants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like going to Texas.
Yeah. I remember when I went up to Wisconsin in the Dells for the first time, I was like, "There's a lot of immigrants up here," and I'm talking, like, Russians and Germans, and so
So when you were in the military, was there a lot of talks amongst you men like, what are we doing? Like, why are we here? Or did you feel like military was an escape for a lot of people?
so yeah, I mean, a lot of people get into the military because they have nothing else, right? It's like
Yeah.
there's a few people that get into it because they have the belief of defending your country and doing this and doing that. But for the most part, a lot of people, especially in my basic training, a lot of these guys lived in rural towns where there's nothing. You know, they were
Yeah.
wrestlers. They didn't really get good grades,
Yeah.
or they were poor and they needed a way to go to college.
Yeah.
Um,
See, and that's kind of sad in itself, right? It's like
Yeah.
you're using potentially, poor,
yeah,
whatever, maybe uneducated people to send to battle,
But
and
isn't that what recruiters do? Like, I mean,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, look, a lot of that
Dang.
you can't necessarily blame the military per se for that. A lot of it is because of college costs. And a
mhm,
lot of
Yeah,
college
that's true.
costs went up because of student loans, right? When the government started funding student loans, that's when your college costs went up because all these colleges realized we basically have unlimited income at this point
yeah,
in time, right? So college basically went from a box of Legos to $40,000, $50,000, right? It used to be you could literally work a summer job and pay for college.
mhm.
Nowadays, you're working 10, 20 years to pay for college, you know?
Exactly.
So, I don't necessarily know if I blame the military for that per se more than the greed of the colleges
Yeah.
allowing that. And, that also goes to the government opening up student loans and there being no real regulation. An 18-year-old child can sit there and get a loan for $100,000, no problem.
Yeah,
Not
It's
even a
so
blink.
crazy.
no job. Yeah,
Not even a
You're
blink of an eye.
starting your life in debt, man. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, and then you work your whole life to stay out of debt. It's yeah. I mean, we've kind of touched on it before, but it seems criminal, man. And it's like all,
Yeah.
and you may go get a job making $40,000 a year with that education.
Which is good money. I mean, $40,000 is fine,
Yeah, but
but there's people making 30 and 20 with the education. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah, especially teachers, as Richard, you probably know.
Yeah.
with, with
Yes, I
your
do.
wife and everything. Yes, I do. Yeah, it's kind of sad, man. It seems so. And like we've said before, it's like once the prices go up, they never go back down.
Oh, no.
Like you're never going to be able to buy a decent used car for under 20,000 anymore. I mean, 20,000 is almost like where you got to start if you want something that's
mhm.
5 years old with 100,000 miles on it. I mean,
I think that depends, though, right? I think
yeah,
in some
obviously, yeah.
instances, all it takes is one company to go, you know what? We're gonna do something different, right? All it takes is one company to do that. Like Mark Cuban's new
Yes,
pharmacy.
yes. I was getting ready
Yeah,
to bring it up.
yeah.
Yeah,
And to be fair, he is not. This is not new. Like what he's doing. Like you have GoodRx and a couple other companies that are doing this. But
explain what's happening if you
so
could.
basically, what he's doing is he's making, as of right now, it's 100 generic pharmaceutical drugs available to buy online without insurance. However, they were doing comparison costs, and some of the medications you would buy with insurance for like $50, but
Mhm.
with his thing, it would cost like $5 with
Yeah,
no insurance. So what they do is they cut out the middleman, right? Because a lot of times what happens with these drug things is they'll have to pay out a doctor or they'll have to pay out, so like you're getting upcharged for all this stuff because of that.
Right.
But their thinking is you're paying this amount of money for the medication and you're paying, and they're very upfront with how the breakdown of the cost is. From what I've seen, they were just like, okay, this medication is $6.50. You're paying $3.50 for the medication and you're paying my pharmacist $3. Here you go.
right.
And it's kind of interesting how they seem to break it down.
Which that all seems understandable. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone told me that, like I'd get it. I mean, I'd understand. Okay, cool. I had to pay $3 to have a doctor give it to me, and whatever. But
So
it,
would a doctor have to prescribe this?
See, I don't know how that works. It's really funny how all that works, right? I'm pretty sure you would have to get a prescription
Right.
for it.
So you still got the doctor involved, but
Right.
like most people have benefits, so that's fine. But like they're geared for the people that don't have benefits, so they're still going to have to pay the doctor's costs, right?
Yeah, but for the most part, everybody in America should have access to health insurance and
Mhm.
that gives you it gives you coverage to see a doctor for free. Basically, if you have no job and make no money, you get free health insurance.
Yeah.
Everybody in this country should have access to health insurance, whether you pay for it or whether you don't, whether you get it subsidized, whether you get it through your job, whatever has you. Everybody has access to that somehow.
Right. Yeah.
That's pretty
So,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And now, isn't it like Canada has free healthcare though?
hmm
Yeah, Canada has universal health care. A few countries do. So,
Okay.
I think there's something done like we're like the richest company or the richest country in the world that doesn't have universal health care. Like they did like a thing. They're like, these are all the richest countries in the world. We're the only one that doesn't have universal health care.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, I feel like they've got it. There's no way that families are able to keep up, right? So, I mean, I don't know if they just allow people just to open up more credit cards or go further and like it's like they don't even care about your credit anymore. It's just like they hand out credit cards like they're Tic Tacs. But I feel like there's something has to change, man. Like we just can't. I got a raise this week, and I'm very thankful for my raise. It's barely a dollar raise, which I guess from what I hear is a pretty good raise. But then again, it's like it's not. Like
Right.
it's not. I need $5 an hour. I mean, I don't. We're managing, obviously, we do okay, but it's just like,
Right.
you raise the price, like the lady at the post office we were talking about. It's like you raised her thing $20, her mailbox $20.
You know,
Like and then she might get a 25-cent raise this year or a 50-cent raise this year. It's just goofy.
Yeah,
It's
it's hard to
crazy.
keep up, and it's weird too because these companies are making money hand over fist.
Millions.
What are you doing?
Millions. Yeah.
And I know, I know we've had conversations about companies making more money and raising their prices to compensate and doing this and doing that, and it's insane that they're still not wanting to pay workers, and it's wild. It's wild, dude. Like it
really
especially
is.
with a market where you can find. I mean, it's quick for you to find a job right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's still hard to get a new job. It's still hard to make that transition. Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's hard to go, apply and whatnot, but it's hard. It's for me anyway. It's always been hard for me to switch jobs. I don't know why. I feel like
Are you talking about on an emotional level?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I understand that a little bit better.
Yeah, like these are my people now. This is my family. Like I don't want to leave them, and then they're gonna fill my spot. And that's how I am.
I get that
anyways.
portion of it. I was like, dude, I can have a new job Friday if you want. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not hard.
But with that said, I mean, I feel like it maybe puts pressure on businesses to take care of their employees, to give them those extra benefits, which at my old company, I was talking to a guy the other day from there, and he was talking about that, how they got to pay more. They got to give more vacation. They got to, just to keep people. So, but all of that just means they raise the price of everything else. Like it just, I mean,
but the price is going to be raised regardless.
Yeah, they're doing it anyways. Like that's the whole point. And that's also why you made an important point, Blake, is companies need to not only pay more, but they need to give intangible benefits, right?
Yeah.
Benefits that are good for you emotionally, right?
Yes.
Like I know companies that will give you unlimited PTO and you are required to take 5 weeks of that.
Oh, really? They give you unlimited, you said?
Unlimited PTO. I have a friend of mine that works for Salesforce. He said last year he took 8 weeks of PTO.
Wow.
God. Why? Like, how do they justify that?
He requests the time and then they approve it and then he bounces.
Yeah. Your boss has to approve it ultimately, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if the workload is fine and he's got time and they got the stats to support it, it's sayonara. So it's insane. And they also have, work from home benefits. That's a big thing nowadays. Yeah. It's like, dude, if I can do 90% of my job from home, I only need to be in the office 1 day a week. This needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still enjoy going to the office. I mean, I enjoy being around people, but I do think about the money I spend, the wear and tear on my car, eating out,
I think the
all
hybrid
that.
model is really good for that, for what you said, Blake. Like, because it
Mhm.
allows me to go in once or twice a week, and I'm allowed to go into the office
Yes,
whenever I
that
want. Like, they
yeah.
see, "You come on in
Every
whenever."
other every
Yeah.
other day would be great.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when I do go in the office, I'm home 3 days a week and in the office 2 days a week.
that'd be perfect. Yeah, I would maybe flip flop that just because I like people. I like
It's the
leaving
only
my
place
house
I
from
can
time to
talk to
time.
people
Hey,
at.
man, I like walking to my next room and ripping out my bench presses in between
That
meetings.
is nice. Yeah, I am a little jealous of that. I'm doing little push-ups off of a desk, to get my
But that's where
workout
you gotta
in.
start. You gotta start with body
I
weight.
got
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't worked out in a couple weeks, man. This cold weather, I'm not about this lifestyle. I'm just, it's
Yeah.
like, my poor fat dog over here. She hasn't been on a walk in a while. She could use one.
Jen and I have been scouting gym, like little outside gyms that I could use when it gets warm outside for my monkey
Yeah.
bars and my
Oh, there
pull.
you go.
So there's one like 2 blocks away. So I was like, oh, I could just run over there and
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
do some
They
monkey
got like
bars
a
and
Yes.
little.
pull-ups.
They got like a little fitness course or whatever.
It's a church. It's a church playground, and
Nice.
there's
Yeah,
never
that's
anybody
that's all you
there.
need. That's all
Yeah.
you need, dude. Climb. I think I took a picture not too long ago of that park fairly close to us, and it's like just climbing up on those ropes and climbing back down,
Yep.
climbing up on those ropes. I was like,
Yep.
dude, this is all I need. Kick
Yeah.
all these little kids out of here so I can get a workout in.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. So
yeah, it's amazing what you can come up with. I mean, broken record. We keep talking about this every week, but just like a jump rope or anything like that is just you don't need much to get a good workout in. But
Right.
no, yeah, yeah, man. So I guess you guys have until the 31st to sign up to get your discount.
We're on it.
Kevin, let's do it. Let's do it
We're
right now.
on it.
We're on it.
Amy said that Kevin asked her for her help to sign up because he didn't know how to do it.
I didn't ask for her help. I said, "Would you like to?"
Would you like to set me? Would you like to do this for me?
She's
Yeah, would
actually
you like to sign me
she's
up?
actually nervous about Kevin doing it because she was like, "Man, he will die on that course."
I'm not gonna. I'm not. I'm gonna be good.
Well, so I mean, honestly, that's kind of my thing is like I don't want to be sore. I don't, I mean, just the wimp inside of me. But I'm telling you, everybody I talk to talks about how much fun it is. And I really think it's a thing where it's like if you come to an activity or you come to a course or whatever, and you just got to sit it out, then just sit it out. Like cheer everybody on, maybe help. Like it's just
Yeah.
more of if you can't do it, you can't. I'm the most thing I'm concerned about is cramping up. I still get these issues where I cramp up from time to time. So when
Are
I
you drinking
really
lots of water?
yeah, well, I mean, it's the only water and coffee is really the only thing I drink. So I always feel like I'm getting water, even if it is coffee. I feel like I'm drinking water because it's 90% water. But I could always, I got one of those big Yeti things, and I usually go through a couple of those a day. But
Okay.
but closer to the time of the Tough Mudder, I'll probably be carrying around a 2-liter and just
Yeah,
filling myself up.
they have like a 6-week training program you can do. I'm thinking about getting in on when it gets
Yeah.
closer.
Nice.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice if we could find time to get together and kind of do some
I
training
know,
stuff
like
together.
like a once a month type thing. You get together and it's like, hey, let's try this. But but
or even like early Saturday mornings or something.
would we know all the obstacles though?
They posted all the obstacles online.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they do. I think
Yeah,
we
when I first
talked
looked
about
at it, it was like out of 15.
It's mainly just like cargo nets,
Mhm.
monkey bars. There's a warped wall, and then some crawling.
Warp wall,
Yeah.
that'd be
And then
cool.
a ball, and then walls you gotta climb over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good. Go to Sky Zone and practice, right?
yeah, there you go.
Hey, they have
There
those
you go.
urban gyms, right?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like, and I live. I mean, the close by where I live at the airport, they have like those wall climbing places that have like the urban gym and
Yeah.
stuff like
That's what I
that.
was gonna mention.
I'm gonna go to
Yeah.
a Ninja Warrior gym. Like
Yeah.
hey, man, train me up. I'll be
Just
on
go to
Ninja
go to CrossFit gym, then you'll really probably be in
I know,
shape.
I look at those, dude. It's like, man, those people are nuts. Like you're gonna hurt yourself doing some of that shit.
I
I
worry.
know.
I worry about just breaking my knees at one of those CrossFit places. I mean, I kind of get it, like how you get fit fast by doing that, but
Oh yeah.
like I worry about my joints.
You remember Jennifer Plegman, Kevin?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. She's all about that life, man. She's always posting videos of her doing clings and stuff, and I'm just like, dang, like she's pretty swole. I mean,
She'll lift
she's
you.
really into
She can lift
Oh.
you, bruh.
with a finger.
Brah.
She probably beat me up.
Hey, so back to
That's
the
a
war
fact.
talk. Was that why Joe Biden is like the biggest meme this week for saying "you stupid son of a bitch"?
Nah, somebody asked a stupid question. Like even his own network made fun of him after the fact.
Yeah,
Something about how inflation being bad for politicians, and it's like, duh.
yeah,
Like, it was just a stupid loaded question. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like one of those questions that you ask somebody knowing it's going to get a shitty response. Like, you know,
Isn't that what they do though? Like, isn't that every question? Isn't that every reporter's job is just to that reporter is so happy he cussed.
yeah.
And
now he's
nobody
getting all
would
these hoes,
nobody would even have known what they were
I'm happy
talking
you
about or
cussed
even
too.
cared.
I don't even think anybody cares anymore, dude. Like, even
No, we just had
Fox was
Trump.
making fun of the reporter. Like, they were like,
Yeah.
dude, they were like cracking jokes on the guy. Like, yeah, he is a stupid son of a bitch. Like,
Yeah. They were going back and saying like he was asking John McCain all these stupid questions back
they
then. And,
did.
yeah, I saw a
remember
little
that.
portion of that interview. Yeah,
He asked him like a stupid question about whether or not he thought the president would take any of his ideas serious.
yeah,
And
yeah.
John McCain just looked at him, and this was a Republican, looked at him and was like, "That is the stupidest question I've ever been asked."
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I guess this guy has a reputation of asking stupid stuff like that.
Yeah. It makes you wonder how he's able to get into that media room to ask those questions.
Well, I think his dad is a famous
He probably knows somebody.
yeah,
Yeah,
his
yeah,
dad is
for
like
sure.
a head person at somewhere.
If you ever
Did
have
you-
to ask that question, Blake, how did that person get here? 9 times out of 10, the answer is nepotism.
Yeah,
Is what?
It's
Is
nepotism.
what? Oh. Have you guys heard about the whole January 6th incident and how there are people that think there was like a Fed that was leading, like there was a video out where this Ted Cruz was asking the head of security or something, like multiple questions about basically were the feds involved. And she just kept saying, I can't answer that. And they were talking about this specific guy that they removed from the watch list, not the watch list, but the list of people to go after, where there's video of him telling everybody, we got to go inside. We got to go inside. So it was almost like this, I don't know if you want to call it inside job, but it was, just
Yeah, I don't
more
know, man.
corrupt people causing more problems.
I
It
don't know.
seems
It just
like.
sounds like people not want to take responsibility for their shit.
right.
Like, not to go in there. Not to do that shit. Not to steal stuff. Not to cause damage. Not to have a gun and threaten politics. Like,
Right.
you're a goddamn adult. Like, you know this.
Right.
So
But this made
whether
it
or
sound
not-
like it was like people being positioned to cause the riots and cause the problem. But I think we've seen this on both sides though.
Yeah, I mean,
just-
people say the same thing about Black Lives Matter, right? It's like,
Yeah.
like, you're a damn adult. You
Yeah,
know
you're
what
right.
you're doing. Like, he's not, especially when we talk about Ted Cruz. This is the same guy that ran away during a snowstorm with his family.
Yeah, I don't blame him though. I mean, I would too if I had the money to reason. I mean, if your family's in danger, are you not like, I'm out? Like, I'm taking care of my circle. See you, bye. I mean,
If that's what you do, I mean, if that's your morality, then that's okay, I guess. But
I'm just saying I'm not going to judge the guy for that one incident. I mean, but then again, I know nothing about the guy, so yeah.
this is the same guy that Donald Trump basically called his wife ugly as shit.
Yeah.
And then
God.
now he's buddy with Donald Trump. I'm like, dude, if you call my wife ugly as shit like that, like, there would be it's gloves off.
Well,
I kind of miss all Trump's wildness.
no, I'm good.
It's good for a good laugh.
It is good for a good laugh. You might get it in 3 more years the way it's going. I don't know.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I heard some
I'm back.
Yeah, I know. I heard some rumblings this week that people were talking about The Rock, which for some reason it's so funny how certain people get brought up. But I do
The
you
Rock said
guys
if he runs, he's running as Republican.
that's
Isn't
and
that wild?
that
Yeah.
is so interesting, and it kind of makes me like him a little bit more for
He's a
some reason.
businessman. He's a businessman.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to ask you this. Do you think The Rock is fake?
I mean,
If
I think
anybody's fake,
he's
he
a nice
is.
guy, but I also think that he
Purposely.
understands the game better
Yes.
than 90% of the people out there. I think he's a nice dude. Like, I think he's a good
Right.
and I think he tries to do the right thing. But at the same time, I think like any one of us, like he probably if you watch any of the Attitude Era Rock shit, like he's totally inappropriate.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, and that's kind of my point where it's just like, I feel like he's like, I follow him on Instagram and stuff, and he always posts videos and make himself look great, which I
Yeah,
get it.
it's for his brand.
It's probably
It's
his
all
team that
branding.
does that. Yeah.
Right. But still, we all, I guess we all could post something to make us look like, whatever, a great dad or great person or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't there's things that he does where I'm like, man, that is so strategic. Like, how many takes did that take,
Hey,
Rock?
what
How many
what's
times did you talk
strategic
about that
is
bass before you put it back in the water?
yeah. What's strategic is? Did you ever watch that show, Young Rock?
No.
Aren't they
Where
coming out
he's
with a
running?
season 2?
I think so.
Yeah,
He's running for the
they're
presidency. Is that a tester putting that out there, going through the motions, and
it would
hey,
make
look at
sense.
me? You know what I'm saying?
I would not be surprised if that is a goal of
I
his.
mean, because that's the whole show design. It's like he's sitting doing the political thing at the beginning of the show and at the end, and then it's telling you about his life and how basically how he's so great and went through all these trials and tribulations.
But is that who we want?
Dude, anybody can go now. Like I mean,
But like, how is that even possible?
but
Like,
but
how
but
is
but was that not Donald Trump? Like he took the presidency and tried to make himself bigger than life, right? Bigger than what that role really is, right? Did that not happen?
I think he just ruffled feathers. I think everybody wanted to hush him, and he was like, no, like, I see it a specific way. So I'm gonna, I'm just gonna say what I think. I mean, I just think,
I don't-
which that's, I think, what everyone kind of liked about Trump is like, well, he's a businessman, he's not a politician. He's gonna maybe hopefully look out for the America, and maybe The Rock will, care for the common
what does America
person.
need though? Like
Dude, a spanking.
what
It
style do they
needs a
need right now?
unifier.
They need the
And
rock bottom.
Rock.
They almost went from a hug, like you said, they went from a hugger to like you just said, somebody that was like, hey, I'm a businessman. It's about business.
Yeah. You need multiple people. You need
Yeah,
a group.
absolutely.
You need educational people. You need conversations. There's so much stuff that we just don't get. Like we say, we're all in our little bubble, and in all reality, we stay in our little bubble, and we don't know about the families that are hurting and that can't get out of the rough neighborhoods. And no matter how hard they try, they can't get better education or get better jobs or get better opportunities, and they're just that's a lot of people, man. Like, and I don't know the answer to that. Sometimes you got to better yourself, but I also believe there's a lot of people that no matter how hard they try to better themselves, they're just born in the wrong family. They're born in the wrong circumstances.
For sure. Yeah, and I don't think the office of the presidency does have a lot of importance, but if you don't have people in the House and Senate willing to play ball, then it's pretty much pointless, right? I mean, that's why
Yeah.
nothing's getting done right now. Is they're trying to pass this Build Back America bill or whatever that includes basically money for infrastructure and daycare and better child tax credit, stuff like that. And there are just so many roadblocks. Like there's a lot of things where they're trying to pass things. No Republican, regardless of whether or not it's good, no Republican will vote for it. And it's the same way when Trump was in office. And these are the games
Right, right.
play, right? Like no Republican will vote for it, period. They do not care. So if you even have one dissenting Democrat, the bill's dead right there.
Right.
So you can't really do anything right now because the Senate is so split even.
Right. So you're basically saying nothing's for the betterment of the country.
Right.
It's we're gonna be on a standstill because we're just petty and we're just gonna do what we. You know what I'm saying?
At least until
we're not gonna
midterm.
support you.
I mean, here's the problem: is that even if something is put in a bill that is for the betterment of the country, because it was not done with a sitting, and this is the same way with if the president was Republican, because the sitting president is not Republican, and none of the Republicans will vote for it. Period.
Right. Yeah.
Vice versa. If Trump was in office and something good was about to be passed, the Democrats would fight for it, fight against it, because they wouldn't be the ones to get credit for
the credit. Yep. And it gives him a feather in his cap. I mean, I mean that's one thing.
But we're the loser.
Exactly. Yeah, we're the loser. We're the losers in the end of like
of a rich man's game.
Yeah, the rich man's game of owing a shit ton of money in healthcare, owing student loans, owing a ridiculous amount of money in daycare, owing not getting the tax credit on time. It's things like that, right? So it's just I don't know, man. It's
just taxes in general. Like I get bonuses from time to time, or I'll actually get paid to get a physical, and it's like, why did you get $300 off my physical? Like, let me. We get it. It's actually really nice. We get $1,000 just to go, get a physical. But it's like when the check gets into my checking account, it's like that's not $1,000. Like it's
$400 out of that.
Yes,
with my Christmas.
Yes, it's just silly, man. Like it's like let us have a bonus. Like you know how much it helps the average class person to get $1,000. Like just let us have it, man.
Yeah,
get your paws off of everything. It's so frustrating.
Yep, it's greed, man.
I know, all to make someone else richer.
Yeah,
not us.
No kidding. No kidding.
I want to talk about the most important thing of the week, though.
Oh.
January 29th on Saturday is the 2022 Royal Rumble.
On a Saturday?
Oh, man.
Yep.
I feel like they're always on Sundays.
They are. It used to be on a Sunday, but that was also the same Sunday that an NFL ran the Pro Bowl. So I think they made the decision to do it Saturday night instead, so they weren't.
Who watches the Pro Bowl, though?
That's why they did it on a Sunday. It was because nobody watched Pro Bowl anyways.
Yeah, yeah.
So
is this?
But
this
the Saturday with the championship, are on Sunday, so they don't want to interfere with the.
Dude, they would get creamed if they tried to go up against the NFL on Saturday.
Oh my gosh! Hey, I will say the NFL is on fire right now. I mean, dude, these playoff games Saturday, or was it Saturday or Sunday, was one of the. I mean, probably one of the best nights of football I've ever watched. The comeback by Mahomes, and I mean, just unreal, like literally unreal to watch that happen. So is that Richard? You talking about the Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley? Is that the
that's the card I showed you? The tail of the tape or whatever that they mocked up because they're both MMA fighters.
Yeah, I would like to see that. I would like to see that real fight.
Dude, it would be a legit fight because Bobby Lashley wrestled for the U.S. Army, and he wrestled the NCAA, and I think he had like almost 20 MMA fights, and he was like 15-2 or something like that. His record, it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, he never fought for the UFC, so I can't be like he was fucking great, but he was good.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you got to be good to get in there. They're just both monsters. That'd be a fun.
Yeah.
I don't know who has better hands, but I mean,
Yeah,
neither one.
Yeah.
I've seen Brock's. It wasn't the best, but
he got some good hammer fists.
Yeah, he does against Frank Mir's face.
So the odds-on favorite to win the Royal Rumble, if you're a betting person, is Big E.
Big E?
Uh-huh.
Who's former champ.
He's a former champ. He was a guy. He was
I think you watched the show where he was talking about the mental health stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who I did?
Yeah.
Uh,
Was that you that brought
Er-
that up or Richard?
probably Errol Hawani's been having a lot of
Yeah.
wrestlers and whatnot on his podcast. Yeah, I'm not sure who the Big E is.
It's wild. Am I in the right year? Hang on. They got some names. Yeah, it is 2022. They got some names in here. I'm just like, how? So here is the sports courtesy of Sportsbet. Big E is the favorite, with Brock Lesnar being 2, AJ Styles being 3, Drew McIntyre being number 4, and Roman Reigns being number 5. And then they follow on with The Rock.
Jeez,
He's not
that dude
even
will never
slated to
die.
be in there.
Yeah, but just the thought of him possibly coming gets everybody excited.
Good. I mean, you never know. There is a rumor that he is supposed to face Roman Reigns at a WrestleMania either this year or next.
Really?
They're cousins in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
They're a part of that
that'd be interesting.
lineage.
You think they'd be partners or something?
I think there's more money in a fight at this point in time.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Roman's a heel, so he's got a storyline called I think it's called the Bloodline, where he's like the head of the table of the Samoan family.
Oh, really?
So it would kind of play into the fact that he's The Rock's cousin, and The Rock coming like,
Yeah.
I'm the head of the table,
Yeah. I'm still the man. Did you see The Rock signed a deal with UFC?
I did for sure for shoes.
Yes. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. So The Rock's gonna be making more money than any of the UFC fighters.
Yep. On top.
Yep.
On the
Can't
top.
afford these shoes.
Yeah.
So the fighters are gonna wear the shoes out to the ring. Is that what's gonna happen?
Will they be required to wear shoes? Because I know some of them don't wear shoes.
I'm sure they will. I mean, this. How the UFC is. They kind of stronghold you, and if you don't do what they say, they cut you. There has been more this whole Francis Ngannou thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Dana White didn't put the belt. For those that don't know, Francis Ngannou, heavyweight champion, just fought last weekend, regained the belt, but it was his last fight on his contract. So therefore, it's the first time the UFC has had a champion without a contract. So he basically can go do what he wants. There's talks of him fighting Tyson Fury. I mean, there's John Jones in the wing, but I don't even think he can make as much money fighting John Jones as he could just going and doing a boxing match with Tyson Fury, even though he'll probably get beat. But Dana White didn't put the belt around his waist. He didn't go to the press conference. Honestly, the pay-per-view really wasn't even a big pay-per-view, which I now think was on purpose, because he didn't want to give Francis negotiation rights, for saying, hey, look how many pay-per-views I just did, so kind of put together a lackluster card, I felt like anyways. So I don't know. It'd be kind of interesting to see, but Jake Paul keeps talking about it. ESPN's kind of talked about it, so it's kind of interesting to see what happens there with Francis. But
that wasn't that a strategy George St. Pierre would do? Like he would not sign a contract until after he won his championship fight, and that's something he recommended.
Yep. I heard him. I can't remember which podcast that was, but it was very educational to where he was just like, breaking it down. Like, this is the problem. Everybody, right before they fight that last contract, they get offered $250,000 for a four fight contract. So they're looking at $1 million for 4 fights. But if they keep winning, then that 250 should be 500 and 600 and 800,000. And, and that's so, and I mean, but it's business. Like the UFC, it's business. Like that's what you're doing. Like you're giving these guys an opportunity to fight. This is the amount we're going to pay you, and you either take it or you leave it, and that's to some fighters, it's such a big opportunity to be in the UFC for marketing purposes that they're willing to do that. And then they hope to make some money doing endorsements, but
or having their gym or something like that.
Yeah.
I almost think that they need like a minimum, because as long as guys are going to fight for $5,000, the UFC is going to stay in business. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like how the NFL and the NBA has like a vet minimum, right? Like, hey, this is your first fight, $30K or something like that, man. Like, but I mean, the UFC is never going to make a deal because these guys are all independent.
Right. Well, yeah, and that's
so there's no deal to be made.
Right, but even with Francis, his contract's over, and he still can't fight for a year. His contract is over, and the
Oh, does he have
UFC still
he has a no compete clause?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So, and he
Yeah.
also he also fought his last fight on a torn MCL, which is just crazy in itself. I mean, talk about bet. I mean, his story is pretty phenomenal. I mean, they can make a movie about this dude. I mean, he really could. But
Mhm.
so yeah, I mean, he's so yeah, now he's got to sit out a year. He's got to get, he's got to get surgery on his knee anyways. So um but yeah, so I don't know. I love the sport obviously, but you just keep seeing these guys get mistreated. But then again, it's like I understand the business aspect of it. If you're an up and coming fighter, nobody knows who you are, and you get an opportunity to fight for
You want to
15,000
showcase
to
that on the
yeah,
UFC, on the big stage.
right. Yeah, 15,000 to win, 15,000, or excuse me, 15,000 to fight and 15,000 to win. You could possibly get $30,000 for one fight. Sure, sounds like good money. Then you got to pay taxes and your gym fees and I mean, these dudes are broke. I mean, there's many videos of fighters talking about how broke they are and how, man, I got a $50,000 bonus and it literally changed my life. I was able to
Mhm.
pay my house payment. I mean, it's just, it's kind of taking advantage of desperate people trying to make it in a sport, and I mean, could you imagine the NFL paying, a backup lineman that nobody knows $10,000 a year or
You are
whatever?
guaranteed a rookie minimum of what, $1 million?
Yep.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yep.
Man,
it's a million. Because I seen a video where one of the rookies
And you
broke
got the
down.
benefits. And you got benefits.
Yep.
that's the other thing. No, literally no health benefits, like nothing, man. Like
And aren't
you're
they
literally, I mean,
lifelong too, Kevin? Their benefits are lifelong
Yep. Yep.
for NFL.
isn't
Yeah,
that
that's a
crazy?
lifelong benefit. Lifelong health insurance and all other kinds
Yeah.
of stuff.
And there's, I mean, there's no reason why the UFC couldn't offer that, and but then again, if no one's forcing you to do it, then why do it?
I mean, it's let's be honest, like think for the most part, things like MMA and boxing are really probably ran by scrupulous people to begin with. Like
Mhm.
you literally just own human cockfighting. Like that's really
Yeah,
all it is. And it's which is kind of a weird thing, anyways. But so so to be surprised that their moral alignment doesn't go with doing the right thing, it shouldn't be shocking. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, not like the
yeah.
whole nature of the whole business is not shocking.
You're right, but the people that do it love it.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm
Yeah.
not blaming the people that do it.
yeah,
Like, it's they
Yeah.
love it, and that's fine. I mean, it's competition. That's in your
yeah,
blood. If you're a wrestler, right, and you
What else
wrestle
can you do?
college,
Yeah.
right, this is what I do. I have literally maybe 3 things I can do. I can go on and maybe be some sort of an amateur wrestler on some sort of weird circuit. 2, I
right,
can join some sort of a professional wrestling circuit. Or 3,
yeah,
I can go to MMA.
yeah, or
So
coach. Or
our
coach wrestling.
you're right, our
Yeah,
coach
or
wrestling.
something like that, or work in a gym or train or, which, those things are great too. But yeah, I hear you. It's, there's not too many options there. So
No. But that's also why,
yeah.
like I said, in the military, almost half of our unit were ex-wrestlers.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Dude,
believe
if
it.
you got to fight with anybody, you better know how to wrestle.
Oh, yeah, without
You're
a
about to
doubt.
get crucifixed.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you want a grown man hold you down and kiss you on your forehead, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that'd be the
Yes.
biggest torture.
I
Like,
have
I'm gonna
I had
kiss
s
you. There's
I
nothing
had
you can
seen
do.
some fights, and I was like, "Dude,
Yeah.
you better know what's up if you're gonna fight one of these dudes, because it's
Yeah.
legit."
It'll make you think twice, man, going up against any human being. Like,
Yep.
people are capable of many things. That's why I don't fight. I just try to be nice to everybody. Be like,
I don't
hey,
Yep. Can
let's
we all
be
just get
friends.
along?
I know. I got no desire to get. I don't even want to get mad at anybody at this point in my life. I just like, you cut me off, dude. It's cool, man. I hope you get to work quicker than
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Good luck.
You
Good
needed to
luck.
get you needed to get there faster than I did.
Yeah, like it's not worth getting mad. I mean,
Yeah.
there's always gonna be somebody that does something idiotic, and it's just like,
I'm the
just take a
same
deep
way.
breath. Yeah, it just
Sometimes I'm in the car with people and they like constantly get road rage. I'm like, what is wrong with
It's
you?
it's so immature. I honestly, I had somebody at work that comes in all the time. Traffic, blah blah blah. This idiot cut me off. It's just like,
Dude,
dude, like
just
how
throw
do
on
you
a
let?
comedy
me.
CD and laugh all the way there. You're fine.
Yeah,
It's all
just
good, home.
don't try to get to work before they do. How about that? It's not a race. Just let them over. You know, just I don't get it.
I think for
But-
people like you and I, Blake and Kevin, like we don't necessarily like. I view a drive to work as a vehicle of almost 30 minutes of time for me to be entertained. So it doesn't
Yeah,
bother.
oh
me.
for
Like,
sure.
I'll put on a podcast or I'll put on a comedy CD, and I'm like, hey, it's 30 minutes. I get to listen to something, and
Yeah.
I'm stuck in traffic for another 10 minutes. Oh, cool! I get to listen to my
Right.
special for another 10 minutes.
Yes,
Yeah, so it
exactly.
doesn't bother me. Yeah,
It's the only time
Right.
that I could be alone with my thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. It's I get about 45 minutes there and back, and it's like,
Mhm.
that's how I get through Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, 3 hours.
It's the only way. Yep. So,
Yeah.
is that it, boys?
Yep. Let's
I
see
think
it.
it's safe to wrap it up.
Wrap it up like
Wrap it
Drake
up.
sauce.
There's a rumor Ronda Rousey will be turning Saturday.
Uh-oh. Yeah, why did she leave WWE?
She had babies.
Had babies, didn't
Had
you?
a baby.
Oh, she had Travis Brown babies.
Yep.
Dumping all in that.
About to watch. Really?
Happy birthday, Rita.
Dumping all in it. She got some of that Travis sauce. Travis.
Hey, just tell her as soon as the music starts to stop it, like immediately.
Yeah.
And tell
Yeah,
her it's
she-
not Richard this time.
She ain't making this far.
Yeah. She's gonna be like, which music? The introduction or the
Yeah.
departure?
Yeah, the
Top of the
intro.
intro. Yeah.
When do I turn it off? She says she's behind a few episodes. I don't think she's been
Yeah.
keeping up. I think
man.
she's got a few other podcasts that are a little bit more important to her,
There you go.
which I understand. She probably doesn't care about wrestling.
Probably not. Bianca
Yeah.
Belair is scheduled to
Oh,
win the women's, Kevin.
Yeah, she
Yeah, she's on
that. with that ponytail.
Yep.
I could probably watch Raw this week and catch up on months of.
You could probably just watch the Royal Rumble and no.
Yeah, absolutely.
catch you up.